Hello everyone, a very good afternoon to all of you. This is Ashwin Ramani here, research analyst at SBI Securities. I hope I'm audible and I hope you all are able to see my screen. If you all can give me a heads up in the chat box. अगर मेरी आवाज सुनाई दे रही है, स्क्रीन दिखाई दे रहा है तो आप मुझे एक बार चैट बॉक्स में कमेंट करके बता सकते हो so that I know you all are with me live in the session. And we just wait for a couple of minutes. I see that people are joining in. And then we should be good to go with today's mid-market session. Great. Gajendran ji is here. Hi, Rati ji. Good afternoon to you as well. Sudhakar ji, good afternoon. Audio, video clear, perfect. We'll just wait for a minute, another 30-40 seconds, and then we should be good to go. Great. Netaji, good afternoon. KM is saying hi, perfect. Radhe Radhe. Nikhil ji, good afternoon. Okay. So let us start off with the mid-market session today. So talking about the update on the global markets first. अगर कल US markets देखें, so Dow Jones closed around 0.44% higher. S&P 500 had a flat close. It closed around 0.16% lower. And Nasdaq closed around 0.76% lower. So barring Dow Jones, the couple of other indices in the US ended in red. If you look at Dow futures, so Dow futures is up 0.22%. So we can expect a slightly positive start to the US markets today. अगर European markets देखें, so Germany was down 0.6%. London was up 0.10%. France was down 0.18%. And Eurostox index was up 0.45%. So European markets were mixed in the yesterday's trade. If you look at Asian markets, so today Asian markets are relatively doing well as compared to the US and the European markets. All the Asian markets are in green. If you look at Nikkei is up 1.76%. Hang Seng is up 1.84%. Shanghai again 1.17%. So all even Kospi is the best performing Asian index that is up around 2.68%. So all the other Asian markets are up over 1%. With Kospi over 2%. Whereas our markets, we have recovered from yesterday's session. So yesterday we had red close. We had a big sizable bearish candle on the daily chart. But nevertheless, we have recovered. Nifty is up around 167 points or 0.66% higher, and Sensex is up around 0.52%. If we look at the macro indicators, तो अगर हम डॉलर इंडेक्स की बात करें, so डॉलर इंडेक्स post the downward sloping trend line breakout, यहाँ पे अब consolidate कर रहा है. So around 99.5 on the upside and 98.8 on the downside. So this is the range in which dollar index is consolidating. तो अगर ये 99 के ऊपर breakout मिलता है, then dollar can get stronger against the basket of 6 major currencies. And any up move in the dollar index can put pressure on our markets. If you look at dollar by rupee, so one interesting sign is that so we have seen rupee strengthening today. So dollar kind of weakened a bit. It was down around 0.5%. So we dropped to 88.28, which is a slightly positive sign for us. I think it's still in that range, that 88.5 to 89 range is where US dollar by rupee is. But if it moves above 89, again, it can put pressure on our markets. If you look at US government bonds 10-year yields, so yields have been moving down steadily since the last 3 trading sessions. So the US government bonds 10-year yield is at 4% now. So the resistance is at around 4.15 to 4.2%. Any drop below 4% can actually benefit US markets. If yields usually go down, it's the equity markets that do well in this period. If you look at India VIX, so last two sessions we saw India VIX. So on Monday, India VIX was up around 9%. Yesterday, it was up around 1.3%. So roughly around 10% is what India VIX was higher. But I think today we are seeing some cool off in the volatility index. So India VIX is down around 5%. So that has given some comfort to the bulls today. If we look at crude oil, so crude oil continues to move lower. It's at $62 a barrel. So if crude oil goes down, it's actually a good sign for us. But I feel on the downside, the support is around $58 a barrel. So we can expect, crude moving even $4 lower to around $58 a barrel. That is where the next support is placed for the crude oil. If we look at silver, so silver post some profit booking yesterday in silver, considering there's a lot of news that is going on in silver with the silver ETFs stopping some flows with silver ETFs trading at a premium compared to its fair value. So we had some profit booking. But there is again some buying that we are seeing in silver today. So silver is up around 1.8%. So it's at $52.35 an ounce. And I feel the overall trajectory is still up. I think silver can continue to move up higher. I think it can move towards $55, $56 an ounce in the short term. While if we look at gold, so like silver, even gold has made a new high. It's nearing $4,200 an ounce. So it's actually a very happy Diwali for gold. So we'll have Dhanteras now. So I think a lot of people will usually buy gold in this period. And gold is kind of doing well as compared to silver off late in the last 1 week or so. So gold continues to move up higher. It's at $4,200 an ounce. So both gold and silver are likely to do well going forward. If we look at the FII activity in index futures and in the cash market, so yesterday again FIIs continued to sell. So they sold around 1,508 crores in the cash market. So this comes after 4 days of buying, which was not a very significant buying compared to the quantum of selling that we have seen from the FIIs. सो कल फिर से अगर हम 2 दिन से देखेंगे तो 1700 करोड़ का सेलिंग हमें देखा गया है कैश मार्केट में. And index futures में there was an uptick in the short positions. So the net index futures contracts has gone from minus 1,85,000 to minus 1,94,000. And if you can see long short ratio, again, it still hovers in that 7% range. So if you see from the almost from the 6th of October, long short ratio has been between 7%, 7.08% the lowest, and 7.53% the highest. So it's at that 7 to 7.5%. So no real short covering by the FIIs in index futures. The sentiment is still on the negative side by the FII. So as long as trade certainty, if unless and until there is a trade uncertainty between India and US, though there is some progress that we have made, but still, as long as we don't know what the final outcome is, the uncertainty is going to prevail. Secondly, a dollar depreciating against the rupee is not a good sign for our market. So we want dollar to go down. We want dollar to move towards 87, 86, towards 85 levels. Higher dollar is, again, keeps the FIIs away from our markets. And thirdly, if you see from the last 3.5 months, we are not seeing any bouts of short covering in our markets. FIIs still continue to have heavy short positions, roughly around 90-92% short positions in index futures and only 7% long positions. And we've been seeing this trend from almost June onwards. So looks like we might have to still wait. FIIs are not coming to our markets this Diwali. Maybe we'll have to wait and see. Looks like we might end up this year like this. Maybe hopefully 2026 we can welcome the FIIs back to our markets. And hopefully things improve by then as well. If you look at Nifty, if we look at the daily chart, Nifty, I think, continues to move higher. So like I said, yesterday it came close to its 20-day EMA, which is placed in that 25,040, 25,050 zone. And if I look at Bollinger Band, so if we look at Bollinger Band, so Nifty has been taking support from the midline of the Bollinger Bands. So you can see there was one support on the 8th of October, then another on the 9th. And yesterday, when we had a sharp drop, so on the daily chart, Nifty took support from the midline. So this midline is usually a dynamic support zone for Nifty. So Nifty taking support from midline and moving up is a healthy sign. And over the last 2 days, we saw this. So on the 10th of October, 25,330. Then yesterday, we saw 25,310. So Nifty has been unable to move past the 25,310, 25,330 zone on the upside. तो जब तक हमें इस जोन के ऊपर एक स्ट्रॉन्ग ब्रेकआउट और क्लोज नहीं मिलता है तब तक थोड़ा सा चॉपीनेस रह सकता है. But I think even today, if you see Nifty is at 25,326. Right now it's at 25,306. We had a high of 25,326. Again, it's in that 25,310, 25,330 zone. So last 3 days, we can see the wicks here. There is some selling that we are seeing from these levels here. But I think once we get a close about 25,330, then I think Nifty can move towards 25,450, 25,500 levels. And hopefully, I think by Diwali or by next week, we should be, hopefully, I'm not sure, but I think we should be able to take out this high of 25,449 that was made on the 18th of September. So we'll have to wait and watch. But for that, we need a close about 25,330. And on the downside, I feel 25, 130, 25, 150 is likely to act as a strong support. Though we made a low of, if we see yesterday's low was 25,060, but we recovered later towards the second half. And I think Nifty held on to that 25,150 mark yesterday. So I feel as long as 25,150 holds on the downside, so that is likely to act as a strong support level. Whereas on the upside, breakout about 25,330 can lead to Nifty moving up higher. If we look at the intraday chart again, so intraday chart agar hum dekhenge, so for the last from 11 o'clock onwards, so roughly around a couple of hours now, Nifty has been consolidating. So I feel on an intraday basis, if Nifty takes out 25,330, that is the level that we were talking about. अगर 25,330 के ऊपर एक strong breakout आता है, then I think we can definitely move higher towards 25,380, 25,400 levels. I think that closing about 25,330 will be very important today. And on the downside, I feel it purely intraday basis के लिए 25,250, but थोड़ा short term perspective के लिए 25,150 on the downside. ये वाला जो level है, that is likely to act as a strong support for Nifty 50 years. So these are the levels that you can track in Nifty. अगर हम Sensex की बात करें, so let me open up Sensex, just a second. So if I open up charts here, so on the daily charts, if we see, so Sensex, like we were discussing, it was unable to break past the 80,000. So we had a high of 86.54, but overall, if we see, this 82,580, 82,600 is acting as a strong resistance for Sensex. From 7th of October, almost since a week now, Sensex has broadly been moving in that 82,650, and on the downside 81,650. So roughly around 1,000 points move is where Sensex has been moving in. But I feel for Sensex to move up higher, we need a strong close above 82,600. Right now, Sensex is at 82,550. So another 50, 60 points sharp move on the upside, provided we close above 82,600. Then I think even Sensex can take out this previous high, which is going to act as an immediate resistance. So this previous high is in the zone of 83,140. I think Sensex can move up until these levels once we get a strong breakout. And on the downside, 81,760, 81,800, that is likely to act as a support. Even अगर हम Sensex देखेंगे, it was above its 20-day EMA. We still, even despite the fall here, the index has managed to hold on to its 20-day EMA here. We are still not below the 20 EMA, which is a positive sign for the market. So 81,800 on the downside, that level is likely to act as a strong support for Sensex. And if we look at the 5 minutes chart, purely, so today is, so tomorrow we have our Sensex expiry, tomorrow being Thursday. And if we look at Sensex again, if we get a breakout above 82,600, then we can expect Sensex to move up sharply towards 81,800, 81,850 levels. So this is the level to watch out. While on the downside, I feel purely on an intraday basis, 82,400, 82,420 is likely to act as a strong support for the stock here. So keep an eye on that, 82,400, 82,420 on the downside. That is the support, while on the upside, 82,600, once we get a break above that, looks like Sensex is most likely to break above this zone. So above 82,600, we can expect Sensex to move higher. If we look at Bank Nifty, so if you look at the daily chart for Bank Nifty, so Bank Nifty is almost outperforming both Nifty and Sensex. तो अगर हम बैंक निफ्टी की बात करें तो पिछले 3 दिन देखिए, look at the highs here. So on the 10th of October, 56,760, yesterday 56,770, and yesterday again 56,720. तो ये जो 56,700, 56,800 का जो जोन है, वो पिछले 3 दिन के लिए काफी स्ट्रॉन्ग रेजिस्टेंस जोन बना था. एवरी टाइम बैंक निफ्टी ट्राइड टू मूव टुवर्ड्स दैट 56,800 level, it faced some strong resistance and eventually it closed slightly lower. But Bank Nifty is at 56,800 now. It has successfully managed to take out this previous 3 days high zone, which was in that zone of 56,700 to 56,800. I feel once we get a strong close above 56,800, then high chances are that we can move towards 57,300, 57,400 levels in the short term. While the 56,300 zones almost 500 points lower, 56,300, 56,280, that zone is likely to act as a strong support for Bank Nifty. And even if we look at the 5 minutes chart, so even Bank Nifty looks poised to move above the day's high. So around 56,850 is where the day's high is. I think if we manage to get a close above 56,850, then we can move towards 57,000 levels on an intraday basis. While on the downside, I feel 56,700, around 100 points lower, 95 to 100 points lower is where the immediate support for Bank Nifty is placed. So तीनों indices के लिए I feel the outlook is sideways to positive, so don't be on the short side in all the 3 indices here. If we look at heat map today, so अगर हम बैंकिंग स्पेस और फाइनेंशियल स्पेस की बात करें, so HDFC is quiet today, but ICICI Bank is up around 0.7%, Bajaj Finance is up nearly 3%. Even the other twin of Bajaj is doing well. Bajaj Finserv is up around 2.4%. Kotak and Axis Bank are quiet. SBI is up 1.15%. Geofin is up 2%. HDFC Life, so all these insurance companies are doing well. So HDFC Life is up around 1.88%. IT is quiet today. The mainline IT counters are doing relatively quiet, with Infi down around 1%. Zomato again continues to move up. It's up around 1.3%. Wipro is down. Wipro is up 0.51%. Oil and gas, again, Reliance continues to remain subdued today, but ONGC is up around 1.27%. Coal India is up around 1%. Auto stocks mein momentum tha. Mahindra and Mahindra is up around 1% today. Tata Motors continues to underperform. I think post the demerger again, Tata Motors abhi bhi thoda sa underperform kar raha hai. Today, the FMCG space is doing well, though the overall structure is still down. Hindustan Unilever is up around 0.7%. ITC is up 0.8%. Nestle is up almost 4% today. One of the top gainers, I think almost the top gainer for the day is Nestle India. If you look at metal stocks, so metal again continues to do well. JSW Steel is up around 1%. Grasim is up around 1.5%, Ultratech Cement 1.5%, Hindalco is up 0.6%. So metal, after a brief pause, continues to do well. Bharti Airtel is up 0.78%, BL again 1.57% higher today. Even LT is doing well, up around 2.3%. Both NTPC is up 1.3%, Power Grid is up 1.65%, Adani is doing well. Even Indigo on the charts, it's looking good, 1.48%. So compared to yesterday, I think today Nifty has a support from a lot of sectors, barring IT and some names of oil and gas and auto. Barring that, almost all the sectors are in green. Pharma is quiet today. So if you look at Sun Pharma is positive 0.15. So barring pharma, some names in IT, some names in oil and gas and your auto space, rest of the market is doing well. So today market has good support from banking and financial services space here. Now, if we look at the sectors and the stocks to watch out, so the first stock where the chart looks relatively good is AU Small Finance Bank. अगर हम AU Small Finance Bank की बात करें तो ऑलमोस्ट 6 अक्टूबर से एक रेंज में ट्रेड हो रहा था. So around 745 on the downside and 775 on the upside. ये 30 points range में move कर रहा था AU Small Finance Bank. And today again we saw a strong breakout today. So it has broken out of this 30-point consolidation zone, and most likely it can close higher. So chances are that AU Bank can move up higher. There is one resistance in the zone of 800, 805. I think once it takes out, it can move towards 835, 840 levels in the short term. 755 एक strong support बन सकता है AU Small Finance Bank के लिए. And the next stock that I want to discuss is realty sector, guys. So we are seeing that the whole of realty sector has been underperforming since quite some time now. But there is a sharp momentum or an uptick that is building up in the realty space. So if you look at realty by Nifty ratio chart, there is a small base that is formed here. And since then, we are seeing almost all the realty stocks that are in action. So you look at Phoenix Limited, Godrej Properties, DLF, Shobha, all these counters are relatively doing well. So there is definitely some momentum that is building up in the realty space. So there are some names that you can watch out in the realty space. One being your Phoenix Mills. Phoenix Mills हम देख रहे थे कि हमें एक डाउनवर्ड स्लोपिंग ट्रेंड लाइन ब्रेकआउट मिला था, एंड पोस्ट द ब्रेकआउट वी हैड अ रीटेस्ट. It retested around its cluster of moving averages, and then it started moving up, and today right now it is trading above its previous high. The high was 1655, and right now it is trading at 1670, above the previous high here. I think if we get a close above 1670, then chances are that Phoenix Mills is one stock from the realty space that can do well, and I think it can move towards 1725, 1730 levels in the short term, with around 1600 acting as a strong support for Phoenix Mills, which is where the 20-day EMA for the stock is placed. Apart from that, like we've been seeing that even capital market stocks are doing well. We discussed about BMC and CDSL last week. Then a couple of days back, we were discussing about the AMC stocks. And even one other stock from the capital market space that is doing well is 361 WAM. So if you look at 361 WAM, so this level of 1105, 1110 was acting as a strong resistance for 361. And it has broken out, and there is a sizable candle that is being formed here on the daily chart, with RSI moving above 60, and it's in a rising mode, indicating that the momentum is on the bullish side. Even ADX has started to move up higher. MACD line is above the zero line. So all in all, the trend looks positive for 361 as well. So 1080, 1085 is likely to act as a strong support for 361 WAM. And if the current move sustains, I think we can expect 361 to move towards 1230 levels, followed by 1250 levels in the short term. Apart from that, one another stock from the infra space that is doing well is Indigo. So Indigo was quiet for a long time. So if you see post this gap down on the 20th of August, so almost for the whole month of September, it was consolidating in a range, and it held on to its 100-day EMA twice. It did go below its 100-day EMA, but it managed to held on and come above the same. And we see that right now the moving averages slopes are moving higher. The price has given a consolidation breakout. So this level of 5,800 was acting as a strong resistance for Indigo, and around 5,500 on the downside. So it was moving in that 300 points range. And today Indigo has broken out, and I think Indigo looks likely it can fill this gap, and it can move towards 6,030 levels in the short term. So the gap that it created on the 20th of August, chances are that Indigo can fill on the gap here. And 5,725, 5,730, this zone is likely to act as a strong support for Indigo. Apart from that, one other stock that can likely do well is Bharti Airtel. So if we look at Bharti Airtel, this level of 1975, 1980 was a strong resistance for Bharti Airtel. So on the 24th of July, try testing this zone. It failed. Again, it moved towards that zone. It failed. Again, on the 19th of September, it tried to break past this 1975, 1980 zone, but it failed again. And today, again, for the last few days, it is again trying to retest this zone. But once we get a strong close above 1970, then I think Bharti Airtel can move towards 2045, 2050 levels, with around 1930, 1935 acting as a strong support for the stock. Apart from that, one another stock that you can keep in your radar, again, one stock from the infra space is Larsen and Toubro. So if you look at Larsen and Toubro, so we have already discussed this stock quite some times now. So Larsen and Toubro, again, 3,700, 3,750 acted as a strong resistance. I think post the breakout, there is a steady follow through buying that we are seeing in Larsen and Toubro now. The RSI is above 60, ADX is in a rising mode, MACD is well above the zero line and signal line. So all in all, the momentum is positive, and I think LT can move towards this high of 3,950, 3,960 levels, with around 3,700 acting as a strong support for Larsen and Toubro. So keep an eye on Larsen and Toubro as well. And one other stock that I want to discuss is CSE. If you look at CSE, so CSE again, this level of 170, 172 acted as a strong resistance for the stock. Though the stock was moving in a higher low formation, the ADX is still flat. RSI is inching above 60 mark. Even the RSI was trading flat since quite some time now. But considering the breakout that we have today, if the stock manages to give a strong close above 742, and if we see some follow through move, then chances are that even CSE can move towards 180 to 185 levels in the short term, with around 160 acting as a strong support for the stock here. So even the chart structure for CSE also looks positive. And the last stock that I want to discuss for the day is RBL Bank. अगर हम RBL Bank की बात करें, so even RBL Bank post the breakout about 270, 275. I think for the major part of September, it was moving in that 280 to 260 range. And since the second week of October, I think last week onwards, RBL Bank has given a breakout. And post the breakout, there is a sharp follow through move that we are seeing here. There is some uptick in the volumes. You can see the ADX is steadily moving up. RSI is near about the 75 mark. So even the RSI is positive here. So all in all, it also trades above all the key moving averages. So around 280 is likely to act as a strong support for the counter. Any follow through move from the current levels. So there is one previous resistance at that 300 mark. I think it's near its previous high. And I think once it manages to take out this level, then high chances are that we can move towards 320, 330 levels in the short term. So that was all about today's mid-market session. So these are the stocks, these are the sectors. So keep an eye on capital markets, keep an eye on infra space, keep an eye on realty space as well. So realty looks like there are signs of bottoming out in realty. And I think our next few days might tell us where the realty index is heading, whether it's moving on the upside or the downside here. So that was about today's mid-market session. Now let us start off with our question and answer. If you have any queries, any doubts, do let me know in the chat box and I'll be happy to answer them. Bharti Airtel, I think both Bharti Airtel and L&T is good. Sudhakarji, you can continue to hold. I think if you want to add further, maybe you can go for a staggered approach. So rather than entering everything at one go, maybe you can do pyramiding and keep investing in a staggered manner. I think both Bharti Airtel and LLT are doing well, and most likely they are likely to do well here. Banuji, so I think you can also do analysis at your end as well. So my job is so every day I talk about which are the sectors that are outperforming, which are the stocks that has a good price action structure. So these are the stocks that you can have in your watch list. Maybe you can also do analysis at your end. If you feel these stocks are good, if you are convinced yourself, okay, and by your own analysis, mixing with the views that I share, if you feel the stock is well, if the chart structure is well, I think then the decision is all yours to take into. Okay, Shravan ji is asking Nifty का next upside level क्या होगा? I think so. फिलहाल के लिए निफ्टी के लिए जो डेली चार्ट में जैसे हमने ये लेवल डिस्कस किया था, पहले तो ये जो प्रीवियस हाई है 25449 का जो 18 सितंबर को बनाया था, पहले वो लेवल एक रेजिस्टेंस होगा. So जब तक 25450 that is an immediate resistance. I think once we take out 25450, I think then we can move towards this high of 25,670 here that was made on the 30th of June. So these are the two levels to watch out in Nifty here. Any contra view on beaten down value stocks? You can look at some stocks from the realty space. I think this is one sector that is showing some signs of bottoming out. Maybe you can look at a couple of sectors. One is realty and the other one is IT. So if we look at, let's say, the realty space here, if you see Prestige is showing some signs of recovery. Shobha again, it's showing. Godrej Properties is one that you can consider. Lodha, not that strong. It still trades below its moving averages. DLF again, not very strong. I think Phoenix Limited is one stock from the realty space that you can consider. Even Oberoi Realty, it's below its 20-day EMA, but there are some signs of bottoming out. Maybe you can look at Prestige, Godrej Properties, Phoenix Mills from the realty space. The other sector that you can look at is even ITC. IT for a lot of time has underperformed. So you can see Persistent has given a strong pullback from the lows. Maybe LTIM is one stock from the IT space. Even Emphasis avoid, TCS avoid, Wipro avoid, HCL Tech avoid, LTTS avoid, TechM avoid, Infi avoid. I think you can look at either Persistent. You can look at LTIM, Emphasis avoid. I think Persistent, and between Persistent and LTIM, these are a couple of names from the IT space. So IT and realty, these sectors have lagged. Maybe if you want to take maybe a small bet on the FMCG space, that is also one space that has taken a lot of beating. So Nestle India, I think it's still consolidating. United Spirits avoid, Dabur avoid, Kolpal it's still down, Balram Chini is down, ITC is down, Godrej CP is down, Britannia down, Radico Ketan, it's already up, VBL is down, Marico is down. Tata Consumer, maybe Tata Consumer is something that looks positive in the FMCG space. So that is one stock from FMCG that you can consider. UBL is down, PG, Procter and Gamble is down as well. So maybe Tata Consumer from the FMCG space, a couple of names in the IT and realty. These are some of the names that you can look at. Chandraji is asking for Tata Motors demerger effect. So I think fundamental team can comment on that. So recently our fundamental team has released a note on Tata Motors demerger as well. Let me see if you can access these reports here. So you go to research, you can go to fundamental research. Let me see. So you can see there is a special situation report that is of demergers of Tata Motors. So you can click on view PDF. So there is a detailed note that our fundamental team has prepared. I think you can go through this note here. So there is a detailed analysis of all the financials of Tata Motors passenger vehicles. What is the valuation metrics? What is our view? What is SBI Securities research view? So you can find that. I think you can definitely go through this report here. I think this should be self-explanatory. आप SBI Securities वेबसाइट में जाओगे, आपको फंडामेंटल रिसर्च के अंदर थीमेटिक रिपोर्ट्स में आपको ये स्पेशल सिचुएशन रिपोर्ट मिल जाएगा चंद्रशेखर जी. Emirates NBD is in talks to acquire majority stake. I think कल ही की न्यूज आया था कि RBL has denied any such development. But nevertheless, on the charts, I feel RBL is extremely positive. I think 270 is where the support is. As long as it trades about 270, the trend is likely to be positive here. I feel RBL Bank can move higher towards 325, 350 levels. Nifty daily में RSI divergence. RSI divergence तब होगा जब प्राइस शुड मेक अ हायर हाई. भले ही RSI लोअर हाई है, बट प्राइस हैज नॉट मेड अ हायर हाई और शमी जी. बिकॉज अगर आप प्राइस भी देखोगे तो प्राइस भी एक लोअर हाई है अभी. तो अगर निफ्टी 25,450 तक आता है, एक हायर हाई बनाता है, तब भी RSI ऐसा है और हमें एक ट्रेंड लाइन ब्रेकडाउन भी मिलता है, तब जाके हम रिवर्सल बोल सकते हैं. अभी इट्स टू अर्ली टू कॉल इट एज इवन डाइवर्जेंस इन द फर्स्ट प्लेस, बिकॉज प्राइस अभी तक हायर हाई नहीं दिखाया हमें. Clear Hariji is saying Maruti lost huge market share, whereas Tata Motors doubled and M&M tripled their market share. I think even auto space mein, I feel a couple of names that I like is Mahindra and Mahindra. So Mahindra, even on the charts, it's looking extremely good. Maruti again, post that GST news, all these auto stocks have rallied. And I think it definitely, I think the only stock that has underperformed in the auto space is Tata Motors. I think clearly their JLR, I think even the guidance was weak for the next year. Plus, this issue on rare earth for EVs, we require rare earth as well. There is this news that is going around, with the availability of rare earth for EVs. And again, I think post the GST cut, definitely there is a demand boost for all the auto names. But I feel more than Tata Motors, there are better counters in the auto space here. I don't know when Tata Motors will recover, but as long as its fundamentals don't improve, and also there is a lot of infighting also there is going around in the Tata group here. There's a power battle that is going around. So there is a lot of uncertainty in that stock currently. So we'll have to still, wait and watch. Ideally, better to avoid Tata Motors at the current juncture. I think there are better names that we can get into. Nifty has now moved beyond 25,330. Yeah, I think Nifty can move up higher. 25,330. Yeah, I think that was a major overhang. I think if you see, I think once it goes above this zone 25,330, 25,330 now, I think it can move higher. I think hopefully, let's see if we get a close about 25,400. I think once we get that, then I think it can be positive for Nifty. So I think Nifty can, I think, definitely touch its 25,449 resistance that was made on the 18th of September. And by then it would have retraced almost 100% of what we lost in the second week of September. I think Nifty would likely cover that now. Kunika is asking for IREDA. See, IREDA overall still, the structure is still negative. It still trades below all the key moving averages. So I feel as long as 165, 170 is not taken out on the upside, it's better to avoid IREDA. But if you're already holding, then you can hold with an SL of 145, 146. That is the level that you can consider as a support for this stock here. But for fresh entry, avoid unless we get a breakout above 165, 170. It needs to go above this 200-day EMA. I think once we get that, then chances are that it can move higher. But until then, it's avoid. Clear? Any other queries, guys? Any other doubts? Do let me know in the chat box and I'll be happy to answer them. And by the way, guys, we are again meeting today evening at 4 o'clock. So today evening from 4 to 5, we are doing a webinar on two-leg bearish option strategy. So we will discuss about bear put spread and bear call spread today. उसका जैसे हमने लास्ट वीक बुलिश स्ट्रैटेजीज देखा था, ऐसे टुडे वी आर गोइंग टू लुक एट बेरिश स्ट्रैटेजीज. So look forward to your presence there as well. And tomorrow, guys, I won't be there tomorrow, but will still have the mid-market session. My colleague Gautam will be doing the mid-market session tomorrow, and I'll be meeting you all on Friday. Please give a session, trader psychology. Sure, I think we can definitely have a session. But I think you will find that I think my colleague Gautam has done a webinar on trading psychology. You can find that on SBI Securities YouTube channel. I think if not, we can definitely have one session on that. Please suggest any government bonds which gives 8.5%. I don't know. I can't recollect any bond that gives around 8.5%. Maybe you can invest in government securities. GSEC is something that you can consider, but I think I'll need to research a bit on this before I can give you an answer. Nothing that comes to my mind currently. Other than FII's entry and USD, which one is the strong reason for FII entry? I think that is, I feel India-US tariff talks. I think that is the major overhang for FIIs currently. I think once we have some certainty in that, we can expect FIIs to come back. Maybe I think another reason could be the Bihar elections in November. So markets again will be keenly looking at what happens in Bihar, because I think Nitish Kumar, I think whether he becomes a chief minister again, if not, if he loses, what happens to the party in the center, considering that party is part of NDA. So then again, there'll be questions on political instability. So any changes in the center, I don't think ऐसा होना चाहिए, but agar that can also shake things up well there. Thirdly, I feel next year budget, I think next 4-5 months, there'll be a lot of talk around the budgets here. I'm not expecting any surprises in the next budget, considering we already had the income tax cut, GST cut. So all the benefits have already been passed down. So I'm not sure whether the government is going to come up with any strong measures for the FIIs. Maybe one thing is whether they are going to withdraw the long-term capital gain tax. I think वो एक चर्चा में रहता ही है हर बजट के पहले. पहले long-term capital gains tax नहीं था. फिर if you remember the 2017 budget, long-term capital gains का काफी बड़ा एक issue हुआ था. I think if they take out that long-term capital gain tax, I think FIIs will come flocking back to our markets with heavy quantities. But I don't think that will happen, considering the fact that a lot of benefit has already been passed in the form of income tax cut and GST cut. So government won't risk losing any more revenues. So I think STT and LTCG, I think both are going to remain intact. I think we had one astrologer. I saw one astrologer here. According to astrologers, Bihar would provide positive results for the market. I hope it does, because I think any surprises there could actually shake things up. Or the fact that FIIs have been holding short positions since last 3 months, do they know something which we don't know? I think only time can tell. I think post what the exit polls say and what the results say, do they know something that we don't know? I think we'll only come to know about that in the month of November. Some more announcements are expected. See, there will be announcements. Definitely there will be, considering last budget also had a lot of announcement for Bihar as a whole. But let's see. I'm not expecting any major announcements. We already had that GST cut, income tax cut. I think a lot of the benefit has already been passed on. So let's see. Let's wait and watch. Government considering STD charges withdrawal. I think ये हर बजट के पहले ऐसे सुनने में आता है, but ऐसे कुछ होता नहीं है. The major would be whether government removes the long-term capital gain tax. I think if they do that, then I think FIIs can come back. Both are good, Shushmita ji. Both Bharti Airtel and Indigo are good at this level. Yeah, Pidilite is also good. I think considering it also has a moat here. So Pidilite Industries is also something that अभी फिलहाल के लिए थोड़ा सा वीकनेस है पिडलाइट में. आई वुड से वेट अंटिल 1530 1540 इज टेकन आउट. जब तक इसके ऊपर ब्रेकआउट नहीं मिलता है, तब तक it's better to wait and watch for Pidilite. Please update your website. It's impossible to execute option trades. Sure, I'll definitely pass on this message to our product team. And if we are not able to do it with the help of website, maybe you can use our mobile app. I think with the help of mobile app, you can definitely place the trades in a much better way. Okay, so guys, so that's all from today's bid market session. I hope it was informative, and I'll see you all again at 4 o'clock for the webinar on bearish option strategies today. And tomorrow I won't be there for the mid market. My colleague Gautam will be there, and I'll meet you on Friday directly now. Okay, so bye guys, take care. See you in a couple of hours. See you at 4 o'clock for the bearish option strategy webinar. Bye guys, take care and stay safe.